Running into my accent, getting tied up in a dark room for training. Not gonna stop me. No way. I'm begging for pure shy forgiveness. Real identity of a team leader. Getting caught was an accident. Falling into my ex's hands was an even bigger accident. How it all started. It began with a news report about a trafficking case from content was about the current Divine Society president and investigator Lang. And the manner incident was one of the worst trafficking cases in recent years. Now the Divine Society is split into two factions. One supports Lu Ming, the former president's younger brother.
One supports Lu Ming, the former president's
only
struggle
son.
between them has far-reaching effects.
Divine Society. After getting the message, wanted him to hold off coming back to the country. Someone with an agenda brought this most up likely again. Revenge. Because Sang Ling Yu is that investigator from the case. He already came back early. He had something he absolutely had to do. At the same time, Divine Society President Lu, the one from that trafficking case mentioned earlier, who was accused of leaking critical intelligence, and also Sang Ling Yu's ex was already attacked. Sang Ling Yu finally tracked down the bad guys and wasn't backing down. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Successfully got the guards at the door to lift. You must watch your safety. Got it. He checked the room number and not, but the door wasn't just a light touch and it opened. But at that moment a big guy suddenly appeared behind him. No discussion, just kicked him straight into the room. His earpiece fell to the ground in the struggle. Sang Ling Yu reached out to grab one last chance for help, but the guy kicked it away. Sure enough, it's Lu Ming. Long time no see. Colonel Sang, all my effort to lure you in wasn't wasted. At that moment, Sang Ling Yu realized he'd been set up. Lu Ming ordered his men to clean him up and bring him over. To be exact, he was treating Sang Ling Yu as a major gift. Long time no see. As although Colonel Sang, all my effort to lure you in wasn't wasted. Clear footsteps echoed in the quiet hallway. Next second, the door was pushed open. Light spilled in from far to near. Sang Ling Yu's whole body was bound by ropes, unable to move. Blinding bright light fell on his perfect face at that moment. The man stood in the open doorway. He spoke and called Sang Ling Yu's name.
This voice, Lu Ming.
Actually, both were pretty surprised. Never thought they'd meet again like this. Lu Ming couldn't hold back and asked, "When you betrayed, did you ever think this day would?" Sang Ling Yu had nothing to it. He's still as stubborn as that. Do whatever you want. Bring it on. Sure enough, one sentence was enough to make Lu Ming furious. He raised his little toy. Wanted to teach him a harsh lesson, but facing Sang Ling Yu, he couldn't help but go soft. Lu Ming suddenly lifted Sang Ling Yu's chin, threatening him with, "You know that's not what I want to hear." Right, what Lu Ming wanted to hear was why Sang Ling Yu betrayed him back then, and why he killed his father. Sang Ling Yu laughed coldly and shot back. "When has the Divine Society ever done it?" He wasn't gonna answer any more questions. "Don't waste your energy. You'll never get the answers you want from me." Ling Yu seemed to deliberately provoke Lu Ming.
This voice, hail prince.
It's Lu Ming. Lu Ming laughed bitterly. "Hey, when it comes to interrogation, well, I'm no match for you. Instructor Sang, when you betrayed me, did you ever think this day would come? I've got all the time in the world to crack that mouth of yours." Only she knows. The Sang Ling Yu watched the man's retreating back. Silently said sorry in his heart. Please forgive him for having reasons. Now's not the right time for everything. At the same time, Lu Ming didn't leave right away after coming out. He just wanted the truth. What happened? That could make Sang Ling Yu choose to betray him without hesitation. These 4 years, every time he got close to the truth, but the evidence went cold. Sang Ling Yu clearly said he'd always be on his side. Why? Lu Ming felt so unwilling and helpless. Could he only pathetically take it out on the wall? Right then his secretary rushed in with urgent
Someone already
news. Leaked the news that Sang Ling Yu was in Lu Ming's hands. This was pretty much expected. He wasn't planning to dodge. Before leaving, Lu Ming told his secretary to take good care of him. He personally handle his meals, don't go through anyone else. Make sure he's safe. Man locked in a dark room by his ex. Except for that brief moment when Fu Dogo would only lie motionless in the darkness. His ex brought people to humiliate him then was about to leave. He saw his chance and successfully took him hostage. A week ago, Sang Ling Yu found something important while chasing a criminal. He subdued the guy and grabbed. Accidentally saw something on the punk's neck. This white swan neck was a birthday gift he gave his sister Yush.
He wouldn't mistake it. 好可爱.
Scared, the punk could only tell the truth. Dusha gave it to him to take home to his girlfriend. Sang Ling Yu knew this guy. A mad dog working for Lu Ming. He suspected his sister's case was connected to the Divine Society. So the next day he applied for an investigation. But his boss didn't approve. He thought going after the Divine Society based on one suspect's empty word was too risky. The boss knew his sister's death really hit Sang Ling Yu hard. But he didn't approve of bringing emotions into work. Sang Ling did have personal reasons, but he insisted the punk was just one of Lu Ming's regular goons. No way he could single-handedly build an entire trafficking network. Right when they were arguing, someone suddenly burst through the door shouting bad news. Seconds ago, the punk killed himself in prison. What amazing comic stuff you did not know about. You can check out the exciting continuation. Back to a few days later. Since Lu Ming left, Sang Ling Yu hadn't touched a thing. Not a grain of rice, not a drop of water. But he just lay there on the ground for days. Until his brain started getting foggy and his vision blurred. Ending like this would be fine. Call it atonement. When he came to again, he found two uninvited guests in the dock. Though his eyes were closed, he could tell from their voices who they were. He was certain that Mad Dog Lu wasn't here just to humiliate him and watch him suffer. Right then Sang Lingyu had a crazy idea.
As the two were about to leave,
He gripped the broken porcelain shard hidden behind him. Just as he proceeded, though his body barely had any strength, taking hostage someone off, he could still pull it. Sang Lingyu got straight to it. He urgently needed to confirm if his sister's death was Lu Xiao's doing. But before he could finish, Lu Ming lashed him with a whip.
stay down.
I still have the energy to fight back. Looks like you haven't suffered enough. 1 second the man wanted to use every method to tame him. But the next second he suddenly cut his own palm, getting ready to save him. He pressed down with a gulping sounds echoed through the whole room. Last time we saw Sang Lingyu take Lu Xiao hostage, wanting to question him about his sister's kill. But his ex cruelly whipped him down, then grabbed his throat to stop another sneak attack. I told you, boss, if you're too hasty you'll never get what you want. Lu Ming scoffed dismissively. If he's hasty he needs a good lesson. Otherwise yoga practice would be such a buzzkill. Lu Ming said humiliating words, but inside he felt conflicted. Don't miss next week's board meeting. Watch out for Femme Fatale. Finally got rid of that mad dog Lu Xiao. The moment the door closed behind him. Turns out everything he did was an act. And performed. Lu Ming worriedly patted the guy lying motionless on the ground, only to find his skin was ice cold. That shouldn't be. He controlled his strength just now. Lu Ming guessed maybe it was from not eating for days. He passed out from weakness. Sake. He pulled out a knife and slashed his palm open. And to briefly restore. At that moment Lu Ming had only one thought. Sang Lingyu, if you want me to trust you, wake up now. Then he leaned down. The empty room was very quiet. Only the sound of gulping remained. What amazing comics does Yuzi not know about? You can check out the exciting continuation. Their lips and chins still had traces of blood. Thankfully after the nutrient solution, Sang Lingyu looked much. Just then the secretary rushed in saying the private car had arrived. Quickly carried him to the hospital. To prevent him from escaping, Lu Ming put a safety strap on Sang Lingyu. Quick! Get the ventilator. Bring the nutrient solution. And the busy doctors rushing around. His heart. But now wasn't the time for romance. And as soon as Sang Lingyu was brought to the hospital, word got out. Just then medical staff suddenly pushed a cart of medicine past, instantly raising Lu Ming's suspicion. He clearly arranged to clear the floor. How were people still coming and going, sneaking in so blatantly under his nose? That could only mean quite a few people had their eyes on Ayo. Colonel Sang's being targeted again. But got kicked to the ground. This assassination ended before it even started. The last time someone snuck in hospital during the chaos. Sure enough, they were after Sang Ling, but this person was from their investigation. So Lu Ming didn't stop them. Right now the two were silently communicating in Morse code. Soon Lu Ming came out. The messenger boldly left right in front of him again. Knowing his love was okay, Lu Ming finally relaxed. The next day someone was selling flowers outside the hospital. Entrance was too flashy and he got spotted right away. An old lady with a kind smile asked if he wanted to buy flowers. Unsurprisingly blocked by bodyguard.
Hey, if you're not buying, then
I
fine.
want my flowers. Lu Ming picked up the only flower that fell on the ground, returned it to the old lady and apologized for his guard's rudeness. But the old lady smiled and generously gave him the flower. This flower is very fresh. Hope you and your partner have a wonderful day. It's a blue Irish. You mentioning partner. Lu Ming immediately thought of Sang Ling. Ayu would probably be happy to see it, so he accepted it on impulse. But the moment he turned, the old lady smiled. At the same time, Lu Ming immediately removed the tracker stuck to his back. If you think you can steal him from me with these tricks, what you didn't know, the old lady had a backup. That iris Lu Ming was holding was what she really wanted to leave for Sang. Suddenly the sky was blocked by something, along with a huge rumbling sound. This is bad. Might be serious trouble. At the same time, Sang Lingyu in the hospital room heard the commotion. So loud, what's happening outside? At the same time, Xianqing guarding outside the room suddenly noticed. Asking if we need to move the patient. I'll find a way to contact bro. You guys guard this place. Don't let anyone near the room. Who knew that right after Xianqing left, some doctor claiming to check on the patient showed up. The guards compared his ID to his face and didn't find him. Thinking about the patient's safety, they reluctantly let him in. Second the door locked, this guy pulled out a huge syringe. Colonel Sang, my apologies. At the critical moment, Sang Lingyu opened his eyes and struck back. No surprise, the sneak attack failed. You think you can take me down with that? This guy clearly came prepared. He pulled out a lighter from his pocket, putting it straight at Sang Lingyu's head. But Sang Lingyu just mocked him again. Even with that, it's not enough. Then, faster than lightning, he knocked both the guy and the lighter away with one knee. He easily ripped off the safety belt attached to the bed. What are you doing? The two switched positions. Now who's in danger? Ask him what he's doing. Of course, giving you a taste of your own medicine. But if you cooperate, I'll make sure your death isn't too painful. Talk.
Who sent you?
Since I'm dead either way, might as well. It was Sang Yu. She sent me to pick you up. How you really don't know how to appreciate a chance. I guess I'll just have to. Ming rushed to the door and suddenly heard a scream. He discovered he was already lying on the ground, motionless. He'd been taken care of. Don't some of you know where to read this amazing comic? First, you need the Tencent app. Open the app and search for symbiosis in the search bar. Then you can read the exciting. Got distracted there. The puppy brought flowers to Kono-san. Finally got him to smile. The puppy was feeling pretty good about it. But who knew the next second he got ambushed out of nowhere. Kono-san used his lack of guard. He timed it perfectly. The puppy just watched helplessly as his wife escaped right in front of him. Last time the puppy arrived at step 2, the assassin had already been taken down by Kono-san in no time. Maybe the action just now used up too much energy. Young Ling-Yu felt his body suddenly swaying. The puppy nervously caught his wife right away. It's not safe here anymore. Take me somewhere else. Sun Ling-Yu didn't say anything, but he couldn't help thinking. Being around you is what's dangerous. Ego better. The next second, Lu Ming pulled out that iris the old lady gave. Said sheepishly he just picked it up off the ground. Both guards couldn't take it anymore. You think we're blind? Sure, you picked it up. Lu Ming wasn't sure either. Could only pray his wife would give him some face and not throw it away. Surprisingly, Sang Ling-Yu actually smiled a little. Lu Ming was stunned. Sang Ling-Yu knew right away this was Aunt Yu's doing. It's just that this dumb dog Lu Ming is still the same as before. Can't even see through such a simple trick. Right then, a big pool of blood spread on the ground. For safety, they had to leave the hospital immediately. Sang Ling-Yu wasn't planning to wait for Aunt Yu to rest. He never was the type to sit around waiting. Strike first, that's the way. At the same time, the enemy had already launched their attack. The military aircraft left devastation in its wake. Near the hospital, innocent people were running everywhere. These thugs were completely insane, brazenly throwing firebombs right into the hospital. The first floor was already surrounded by flames. People upstairs were thrown into chaos by the commotion. Sang Ling-Yu knew this was the best opportunity. He suddenly spoke up, his attitude surprisingly. Lu Ming felt a bit uncomfortable with it. While Lu Ming let his guard down, Sang Ling-Yu instantly stuck a conducting chip on Lu Ming's finger. You're waiting for him all along. The next second, Lu Ming couldn't handle the electric shock and let go. His body went weak and he collapsed, unable to move. Sang Ling-Yu left him behind without hesitation and ran away. Puppy watched his figure getting farther and farther. His heart started aching. Sang Ling-Yu once again chose to leave him behind without looking back. A few minutes later, Lu's subordinates found them and discovered the boss had been ambushed. Lu Ming hadn't snapped out of his disappointment. What followed was anger, hating Sang Ling-Yu for hitting his own stupidity. Every time, he either lashed out at walls or took it out on the floor. But in his dictionary, there's no such thing as giving up. Go, bring him back to me. Don't some of you know where to read this amazing comic? First, you need the Tencent app. Open the app and search for symbiosis in the search bar. Then you can read the exciting. The puppy lost. Kono-san got caught again. The puppy couldn't swallow that. Why is he always the one getting deceived? There's no way he's letting go. Just not. Kono-san attacked when the puppy wasn't watching. The escape plan finally worked. But he just got to the stairwell when he heard someone calling for help. A thug was about to kill a mother and daughter. The moment the little girl fearlessly shielded her mother, it touched a deep pain in Sang Ling-Yu's heart. His sister Yushu had done the same thing. I don't want to always be a chick under your wing, brother. This time, let me protect you. In that moment, Sang Ling-Yu decided to save them first. Escaping could wait. The thug was briefly shocked by the little girl's courage. That's why he didn't finish them off in time. Suddenly, a huge explosion and flash came from the door. Before the thug could figure out what was happening, the lighter in his hand was already aimed at his own head. His neck was also being choked from. Where did this person even come from? He snapped out of his shock and was about to beg. But Colonel Sang didn't give him a chance. He blasted the watermelon in one shot with the light. People like you don't deserve to live. After that, Sang Ling-Yu brought the mother and daughter to the park. The helicopter coming to get him could only hold 2 passengers at most. Sang Ling-Yu was firm that his duty protects the V. He insisted they send the 2 off first and come back. The subordinate could only do it. But the moment the helicopter took off, Lu Ming called up. You can't escape. Colonel Sang didn't want to actually fight the puppy. He tried reasoning with him not to block the way. Business. So Lu Ming was confused why he clearly had a chance to leave. Why didn't he take the helicopter? That's my business. Not your concern. As they passed each other, Lu Ming suddenly grabbed him and made his stance clear. I'm not letting you go. The 2 locked eyes for a moment. Lu Ming's eyes hinted that someone was coming. Sang Ling-Yu immediately understood. Then the 2 started acting. Lu Ming angrily pinned him against the wall and questioned. If you go back, you'll just get more people. You want that tragedy to happen. Sang Ling-Yu acted dismissive. So what? Even if I killed so many people from your divine society, killed your father, you're still head over heels for me. Don't some of you know where to read this amazing comic? First, you need the Tencent app. Open the app and search for symbiosis in the search bar. Then you can read the exciting. Here we go. The puppy finally teamed up with Colonel Sang to be awesome. The 2 worked together perfectly. Easily beat the enemy to a pulp. But the next second, the puppy was confused. Colonel Sang turned around and put a lighter to the back of his head. What happened to fighting side by side? Last time the puppy noticed someone was eavesdropping. So the 2 naturally had a fight. But then a firebomb suddenly rolled to their feet. The puppy didn't disappoint. He immediately shielded his wife completely. Realizing the smoke might be poisonous, he didn't care about himself and quickly covered his wife's nose and mouth. Lu Ming could finally breathe easy. Just kiss. The puppy still wanted to flirt with his wife. The enemy had already arrived to watch them show affection. The 2 stood back to back ready for life. Everyone attack at once. We have to catch them today. The puppy had a backup gun on his left leg. Same as always, you charge, I'll cover. Just like those years when they supported each other. Perfectly insane. Sang Ling-Yu flung his jacket forward, then instantly pulled out the lighter from Lu Ming's pocket. While the enemy was confused by the jacket, he fired precisely. 1 second kill. Lu Ming behind him had already quickly taken care of the one trying to ambush them. Now there was one left with a weapon, 3 feet away. Raising its hand, Sang Ling Yu yelled, "Watch your back." The puppy nimbly leaned back to dodge. Sang Ling Yu blasted another big watermelon. That was way too close just now. Lu Ming almost thought Sang Ling Yu was going to shoot him too with that lighter. Alright then, something cold pressed against the back of his head. Oh boy, the puppy's worry just came true. His heart that just dropped shot right back up to his side. But the situation was chaos. Lu Ming stated bluntly, "Nobody's getting out of here alone." Sang Ling Yu thought about it and agreed. But falling into Lu Ming's hands, the chances of escaping next time would be slim. Just as they were at a standstill, they suddenly heard a little girl's cry for help. Turns out it was the little girl's parents. They were trapped under collapsed debris from the explosion and couldn't escape. The puppy was good at catching. Sang Ling Yu just told the little girl he'd bring the brothers to save them. Fat plural brothers. They're going together with him. A chance to spend time with his wife is so rare. Though Colonel Sang agreed to temporarily stay and go with the puppy, he did have one condition. Never mind just one. Even 99 the puppy would have to agree. Don't some of you know where to read this amazing comic? First, you need the Tencent app. Open the app and search for symbiosis in the search bar. Then you can read the exciting continuation. The puppy got hurt unexpectedly. He thought Colonel Sang was gonna run away again. But this time a miracle happened. At that critical moment, Colonel Sang pushed the puppy out of danger without hesitation, choosing to fall into the endless sea of flames. Last time Sang Ling Yu and Lu Ming agreed to help save people. The little girl's parents were indeed trapped under the rubble, unable to move. Sang Ling Yu was still planning a rescue. First find some steel bars as support points to prevent another collapse. But when he turned around, Lu Ming had already brought back a huge pile of steel bars. Ha, is this enough? More than enough, you could build a whole house with that. Lu Ming was assigned to save others. The puppy wasn't happy, he didn't want to be separated from his wife. What if there's danger and he's not there? Now's not the time to be emotional. They shouldn't be sacrifices in our war. Sang Ling Yu dropped that line and started working on this. Lu Ming calmed down for 3 seconds, then obediently turned around to save people. Things went smoothly on Sang Ling Yu's end and he got them out. But right then, there was a huge collapse sound not far away. The first person Sang Ling Yu thought it was Lu Ming. So he ran toward the sound without hesitation. He didn't even realize how desperately he was wrong. Lu Ming used all his using his own body to hold up the falling steel, barely holding on until he got the last person out safe. The moment he let go and the steel crashed to the ground, Kai's body started losing balance. Was it what just happened? His abdomen got stabbed. More than his own safety, he cared about something else. Without him there, Sang Ling Yu probably already escaped. Right then, a familiar voice came from far to near. Seeing who it was, Lu Ming couldn't believe it was real. Sang Ling believed. This time he wasn't abandoned. Lu Ming stupidly asked, "Why are you still here?" Sang Ling getting answered. Just tore a strip of cloth from his sleeve to stop the bleeding. Lu Ming grabbed his hand and kept asking, "Why? Why did you come back to save me?" This was clearly the perfect chance to escape. Sang Ling Yu's gaze was firm as he gripped Lu Ming's hand back with both of them. "What I said to you wasn't entirely true." But he didn't finish the second half of the sentence. Because right then the ground behind Sang Ling suddenly cracked open with a huge fissure. Without regard for anything, he pushed Lu Ming hard towards safety. But he himself fell into the crack. "No, it is you!" Lu Ming tried to pull him up but was a step. Below wasn't just a bottomless pit. Brilliant flames were burning. The moment Sang Ling Yu was swallowed by the firelight, he moved his lips and said the unfinished half of that sentence. "I love you, that's true." Don't some of you know where to read this amazing comic? First, you need the Tencent app. Open the app and search for symbiosis in the search bar. Then you can read the exciting The puppy swore up and down that he'd take good care of his dear wife, would never let him get hurt again. But Auntie thought it sounded weird.